A high rock cliff blocks the trail up the North Fork of Bat Creek, with the only access to the upper valley by way of a steep winding goat trail up the north face. This waterfall is spectacular enough in the fall, but I can just imagine what it'd be like in the spring runoff. In 2002, Ernie and I ventured up the goat trail leading our saddle horses. The trail was very steep and winding with one very bad spot near the top that was bare rock. My horse slipped and would have gone over backwards if I had not pulled his head down with the lead shank. You might take a pack string down the trail, but if a horse got off it steep enough for the horse to slide to its death, we decided to go back to camp over the South Fork because of this. The trail goes up here through the pass and over into the South Fork of Bat Creek. The pass is 5,500 feet high up here. This is where in 1998 that we had a meter of snow when we took the horses up over here. How was the hike, Ernie?
Oh, that's it. Whiskey. Oh, smokes, is that steep?
Here we are at the gun site. On our way sheep hunting. Nick was on the other side of that gun site a couple of days ago. Sheer vertical climb up.
In late September, the bull caribou start moving down from their summer range in the high alpine valleys and begin gathering up the cows for the breeding season. They also become aggressive as they near the rut, which was demonstrated to me one fall as I had a large bull caribou charge out of the trees and right into my pack string. The next thing I knew, there were pack horses rearing up, breaking off, and charging through the evergreens with the crashing of the pannier boxes against the trees. After the rodeo was over, I was happy to discover that it was only a bull caribou and not a grizzly bear that had started it. There is no better place to be on a sunny, warm fall day, then riding a good saddle pony up into a high alpine valley to scope for animals. It is home to stone sheep, elk, moose, and goats. This band of nannies and kids has a sentinel high up on the ridge watching for danger as they graze below. This time of year they are just starting to grow their winter coats that will be pure white and hang clear to the ground in January. The mountains in the distance are on the north side of the Muskwa River. In 1998, we set up a hunting camp in the Kechika meadows and hunted up into these mountains. Greg Quinn and I scaled the backside of this shale mountain and spotted 3 rams on the pinnacle below us. One ram was a heavy full curl that Greg was able to shoot, but he tumbled off the pinnacle into the ravine below. The footing was very treacherous because of the hard granular shale, so it took us a full day to hike around the mountain to recover him. I had hiked up this trail earlier and was on the backside of the mountain when these goats picked up my scent. Ernie was able to get a video as they came up the slope beside him. Yew! 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 This bull moose with a very long bell came wandering by our camp one morning and was contemplating his next move as he listened to our horse bells. After thinking about it for a few minutes, he continued down the trail, but when he rounded the tree and saw me, he decided to take a slight detour around camp. A few minutes later, these other 2 bull moose came walking to the bush on the other side of our camp. Louie and I hiked up the gorge into the upper end of South Bat Creek. You can only ride up there by taking a rather long detour into the high country. Our way was blocked by a rather deep hole, so we tried filling in with rocks, but in the end had to put a dead tree there for a walkway. As I was on the tree, Louie had me stop for a picture. Just as we stopped the photo, the tree broke and I went for a swim. So much for engineering skills. We are taking in the view of the gun site here as we rest our horses. Our camp is situated on the creek to the right, and the trail runs through the meadow below. It continues up to the high pass and down the ridge into the South Fork. This prime bull caribou was showing off his stop to us, which will put any dressage horse to shame. In a few weeks his mane will turn pure white for the winter. Caribou are very inquisitive and will actually saunter over to get a better look at you when they spot you in the distance. We broke camp on South Bat Creek early in the morning and are packing the horses for the trip out. The first day is 10 hours in the saddle, as there is no horse feed on the trail until you get to the Prophet Meadows. The second day is much easier, with only 6 hours in the saddle until you reach the truck. Louis finishes off packing the horse here by throwing the diamond hitch, and I take the power saw and manty it so that if we need it on the trail, we don't have to unpack the horse to get it off. After an early breakfast and breaking camp, Louis and I are leading our pack string across the Prophet Meadows on the last day of the trip.